Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Acrisure Stadium. It's weird to say. We're used to it being the Heinz ketchup bottle. But today, we've got the number one seed Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the number 8 seed Detroit Lions in our all-time NFL team tournament. It's our third matchup. We've seen one upset so far. It's 1-1. The one seed's winning. When we saw the Patriots beat the Browns, then we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars come through and get a big victory over the San Francisco 49ers. They just can't get out that first round. The last time the Steelers were in this tournament, they lost to the Jaguars. But now today they got to deal with Dan Campbell and the all-time Detroit Lions team, who I feel like Bobby Lane is going to be a problem. But can Terry Bradshaw gets the stops that are needed to help this Pittsburgh, I can't get the words out, but get the Pittsburgh Steelers team to move on. But we're going to find out here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network for our all-time Madden team tournament. Man, tongue-tied. We're ready for another one here. And the Detroit Lions will be kicking this thing off to get things started. I hope you all are ready for a good one here from Pittsburgh. And so Bobby Lane, who has a lot of people see as the greatest Lions quarterback of all time, Matt Stafford right there on the cusp. So it was a debate on who was going to get the start. It looks like it might be Bobby Lane, but we'll see here as Hanson kicks it off. And Pittsburgh will take it there from the 1. And we'll get things started as Pittsburgh gets out to the 20. And Terry Bradshaw, 4 Super Bowl championships under his belt with those 1970 Pittsburgh Steelers. He will lead the way for this team in this contest today. So we got a good one, y'all. I'm excited to see what goes down here from Pittsburgh. So Terry Bradshaw in the gun to get things started, sitting from the 21-yard line, and they dump it off. And that's Lynn Swann. What a nice pickup and a Pittsburgh Steeler first down. So a good start for Lynn Swann and the crew. See Troy Polamalu there, one of the greatest defensive backs of all time. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. 1st and 10. And Bradshaw is going to give it off, and that is Le'Veon Bell, who's breaking a couple of tackles and gets it close. Oh, no, they're going to say he got it. Another first down as Schmidt would get the tackle for Detroit. First and 10 for Pittsburgh as they sit at the 42-yard line. And they give it off to Bell again, and Bell looked like he may have gotten 1 yard on that, but not a lot, but able to gain 1 as they will make it 2nd and 9 after the run. The Detroit Lions, an underdog coming into this one. You know, they haven't won a championship since the 50s, 1950. This year they got close. They were so close to getting to the Super Bowl for the first ever time. They had a 24-7 lead heading into halftime of the NFC Championship game, and then the San Francisco 49ers took it away from them. And San Francisco will go on to the Super Bowl and ended up losing in the Super Bowl, but you saw a Detroit team that seems like they're on the right path. 3rd and 7. Bradshaw, plenty of time, is going to roll to his right, and he dumps it off to Antonio Brown. And Brown's first reception of the day will be 4th and 1 for Pittsburgh. And so it looks like the Detroit Lions are going to get the ball. Now, this is where Pittsburgh's got to be careful because we've seen it in that first game. We don't want it to be a situation where, you know, we have all the 1 seeds knocked out before we get things going here. And Bobby Lane, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the Detroit Lions history, one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, will take the reins here for the Detroit Lions. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions, just a little bit past the 10-yard line in their own territory. Bounces out to the outside, and here's a nice run by Barry Sanders. Many consider Barry Sanders the greatest running back of all time. I know that I do. And I might catch a little flack for that, but I've always felt that Barry Sanders was the greatest running back of all time. He definitely made it look the best, in my opinion. And like I said, I grew up in the 90s. I saw what Barry did on a every Sunday basis, I guess you can say. And they give it off to Barry again. And Barry's going to pick up 6. So that's what's going to make this game interesting. You got one of the greatest defenses in the NFL history, some of the greatest names, so many Hall of Famers on that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Lambert, Green, Palomalu, Kevin Green. I can go on. And they're going to have to, and Barry Sanders are going to have to try to get through all of that today. But 1st and 10 for Detroit. First and 10 for Detroit. They're getting off to a good start. First quarter's been a breeze here. Bobby Lane, and he's going to throw that away. I guess he didn't find anybody. Second and 10 coming up for Detroit. Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer within the last couple of years, alongside Barry Sanders, 2 of the greatest lines of all time, and people always go back and say, well, what happened to both of those guys? Because both of those guys left early. People think they could have had a better career, and it's knocked away there by Rod Woodson. He's looking for Billy Sims, another great Lion running back. And, this Lions team went through, so much in the 90s up into the 2000s and beyond. They had an 0-16 season. But they had 2 of the most legendary figures at the receiver position and at the running back position. And they called it quits early. But they're here today to try to help the Lions move on. Bobby Lane, and it's knocked away again. Once again, Lane was looking for his receiver, but Rod Woodson, the Steeler great, Hall of Famer, knocks it away. It'll be 4th and 10. And Pittsburgh will take it, start their drive just behind the 30-yard line in their own territory. Bradshaw with time takes a move, and it's almost intercepted. Terry threw it right in the hands of Schmidt, and he couldn't bring it in. And 2nd and 10. Detroit's got a lot to improve. They want to shock the world in this tournament. There's a handoff and a great tackle. Guess who it is? Schmidt, who's having himself a nice day so far for Detroit. And that's the end of the first quarter. Not a lot of action in that first quarter compared to what we've seen in the first 2 games of this tournament. And we had a lot of action in both of those first 2 games. 3rd and 11. Steelers looking to pick up, and now Bradshaw has to go around, and he ends up throwing the ball away. And Barney is there to get a stop. It'll be 4th and 11. Just enough pressure by the Detroit defense, led by Dan Campbell and the crew. Here comes the punt, and they let it loose. Both rosters, all the rosters in this tournament done by Ty Swan, who created the all-time team rosters. And so we are going based off of what Ty Swan has been able to put together. And out of all the ones I've seen, this is probably the best one I've seen. So we went with Swans, and a lot of people suggested it online, so we're going with that. Here's Lane giving it off. And Billy Sims was the runner this time, one of the great 20s for this Detroit Lions team. And 2nd and 6. here in the second quarter. Lane looking, and he's got his man, but he is met immediately. As Perriman was able to get the catch, but the Steelers weren't playing around. 3rd and 4 for Detroit. Both offenses struggling, both defenses playing well so far. Lane looking, he's going to dump it off to Barry, and Barry breaks a tackle or two. He's going to get close. He's not going to get it. You see T.J. Watt and Cornell Lake out there in the area for Pittsburgh. And 4th and 1, and we'll see the punt team come on for Detroit. And it's a boomer. A fair catch. It's going to take a bounce at the 4, go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh will take over from the 25-yard line. Or excuse me, from the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. Bradshaw has plenty of time, looks across, and it's caught. And that was Stallworth with the catch. Hall of Famer John Stallworth. 2nd and 2. Bradshaw will dump it off to Antonio Brown. Now, this is a very underrated all-time receiving core. Antonio Brown, who was well on his way, in my opinion, to being maybe potentially one of the greatest receivers of all time. Like, he was on that pace, the way he was playing football, the way he was dominating. Obviously some things happened, and that changed a little bit, and a lot of people changed their perspective of him. Doesn't change the fact that he was a great receiver. There's a handoff here, and that was over to Franco Harris, who gains 2. And so you got Brown, you got Stallworth, you got Lynn Swann. Three of the best of all time. 2nd and 8. So we hit the 2-minute warning, and we're still scoreless here. Defenses have reigned supreme in this contest. Bradshaw will dump it off to Le'Veon Bell, and he is met. Oh, Bell is a little nicked up. And he gets pushed there by Smith. And they're going to check his elbow/wrist area, make sure he's okay. Franco Harris will come back in for Pittsburgh. Third and 7 for the Steelers. Still a bitter taste in their mouth from that matchup against Jacksonville 4 years ago in the tournament. Bradshaw in the gun. He's got 2 receivers up top. Looking, and he had Stallworth. But right there, great job by the Detroit Lions prying the ball away. And it's going to bring up 4th and 7. Now the Lions are going to get another opportunity with about 1:52 left on the clock. And back to punt here for Pittsburgh. They let it loose. And all the way down to about the 17-yard line where fair catch is made, and Detroit will start another drive. Bobby Lane and the Lions. Lane has plenty of time, and we almost had our first sack. But Lane is able to get it to Calvin Johnson. Megatron picks up the first down. Former Madden cover athlete. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Detroit. Now Bobby Lane after the hike, and it's caught across the 40. Perriman picks up a Lions first down. Man, I'm telling you what, the higher seeds in this contest have struggled, it seems, so far in these first couple of games. Even New England, even though they came back and won, they struggled. Here's the no-huddle situation. 0-0. Lane looking, and he's got a man at it's like maybe the 41-yard line, and that was Sanders, not Barry, picking up oh no, they're going to say he was out of bounds, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Second and 10, and ruled an incomplete pass. Lane will find Calvin Johnson, who's hit immediately. Only 33 yards passing for Lane, 5 for 9. Calvin Johnson's got 2 receptions for 14 yards. They're backing it up. You can hear them, all that noise. 3rd and 8. Little movement. 3 receivers up top, got trips up top. Receiver at the bottom. One back in the backfield. 16 seconds. They're going to let this time really tick out. They don't want the Pittsburgh Steelers to get another shot at this. Lane, under pressure, looks across the middle, and it's caught. They're going to call a timeout. Great job there by Detroit. They killed a lot of time, a lot of unnecessary time, in my opinion, because I feel like they had a chance to maybe get a little bit closer, but Perriman gets the catch. And now, if you're Detroit, is it enough to kick the field goal? You do have Hansen, Scott Hansen, who's one of the, best kickers of all time, looking to put this one in from 50 plus, and it is good. And Detroit knocks it in, a 54-yard field goal to give Detroit a 3-0 lead. It looks like heading into the half. So great. It was a pretty solid drive there by Detroit. I mean, I think they could have done a little bit more. Willie Parker's back to receive here for Pittsburgh. I think they could have done a little more, but you got points out of it. And the way this game has gone so far, that's what all that counts. And Parker will take it out, get brought down near the 17-yard line, and that will send us to halftime. The Detroit Lions, the 8th seed. So far, so good. They are up 3-0 heading into the half. Man, the top seeds have had a really rough go at it, and here's a nice run by Le'Veon Bell to get things going for the Steelers, and then Bobby Lane with a great pass across the middle to Perriman, and that set up the field goal, the 54-yarder. And we're getting ready for the second half. Detroit up 3-0. And we get ready for Detroit. They're going to receive the ball here. I know I keep saying greatest of all time, but it's true. Mel Gray, one of the best kick returners I've ever seen, is back there, and he decides to take a knee. He will not bring it out. And Bobby Lane and the Lions with a chance to maybe tack on a little bit more, maybe do a little bit more damage here, maybe extend the lead. I mean, it would be interesting to see if they can make that happen. But here we go. And a catch made by Calvin Johnson. So Calvin Johnson with the catch. Watch Lane here, looking. Fools the Pittsburgh defense, and Calvin Johnson with a big catch and run. And, man, the Steelers got to be careful because they might have the Niners' fate if they keep this up. And Lane looking across the middle, and it's caught by Johnson. And it's going to be 2nd and 2. And 3-0 Detroit, and they're getting the drive going pretty good so far. Lane will look, and he had Sanders, but the pass is incomplete. 3rd and 2. Legendary Pittsburgh defense trying to get something in their favor. The next matchup we will see will be Dallas versus Houston. That's going to be an interesting one. We'll see. I believe Deshaun Watson is going to get the start in that one for Houston. And that pass is incomplete. 4th and 2. As Ham and the crew for the Steel Curtain. And we got a long field goal attempt here. And another deep one, and it is through. 6-0 Detroit. Hanson boots this one through. This one a 53-yarder. And so now Detroit up 6-0 over Pittsburgh. This all-star division matchup. Winner of this game will take on either the Buccaneers or the Bears in the 2nd round. Also in this division, you got the Commanders, the 3 seed. They would take on the Vikings. The Packers are the 2 seed. They would take on the Chargers. And that's the all-star division in a nutshell. And a nice, decent return. He could have stayed in there, maybe got 5 extra yards on that, but ill what it ill. And Pittsburgh, not in bad shape. Detroit only able to get 2 field goals out of everything they've been through. Bradshaw looking, and it's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. So we'll see Bradshaw in the gun here. 2nd and 10. Terry looking across. Ooh, he had someone. That was Stallworth. Dick Night Train Lane was in the area. Third and 10. Pittsburgh hasn't done anything offensively. A little moment here and there. Bradshaw has time. He's got to step up in the pocket. Terry Bradshaw on the run. And did he get it? They're going to say 4th and inches. 4th and inches coming up. And do you go for it if you're Pittsburgh? I mean, you're down 6-0. They decide to punt, but they're deep in their own territory. You don't want anything to go awry. And their punt is a nice one. It'll take it down to about the 24-yard line. And Gray will get it across the 35, near the 38. And Detroit will take over. Lane will dump it off to Johnson, and he gets it to the 44, 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
Second and 5. And a catch across the middle. Oh, there may be an injured player here. Like it might be Stanell. I might have destroyed that last name. I hope he's okay. They're checking on his arm. Look like maybe the wrist area. And it'll be the 1st and 10 for Detroit. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Pittsburgh's on upset alert. And they better be careful. Because Lane and Johnson have been connecting. And this Pittsburgh Steelers defense they just got to figure it out. There's a handoff. And to the outside, that is Sanders with the run. He's got 4 rushes for 51 yards and a first down for Detroit. The Pittsburgh defense cannot stop Detroit. Oh, man. Barry Sanders, what a tough run. First and 10. Bobby Lane rolls out, looks, and he's got a man and a first down. Guess who it is? Megatron. 11 for 17 for 120 yards. Detroit looking to put the icing on the cake here. And right now, if you're Pittsburgh, you just saying, what do we do? Oh, into the end zone. Is that Billy Sims? Touchdown. The former Heisman winner. 2-time Heisman winner, Billy Sims, into the end zone. The only person to ever win the Heisman Trophy 2 times. Puts it into the end zone. He just trucked Cornell Lake. Oh, this was dangerous. Oh, one of the greatest Steelers of the 90s just got trucked. And Detroit is up 12-0. And they tried for the 2-point conversion there, it looked like, and it's going to remain 12-0. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Legacy Maker Sports Network. It's our 2024 NFL All-Time Teams Tournament. We've had 2 games so far in the tournament. Patriots, 1 seed overall, getting a dub. Then the number 2 seed overall right here, Pittsburgh, in trouble. We also saw the 49ers, the 3rd overall seed, lose. And so it's anybody's ball game in these tournaments. You never know how it's going to go. And Willie Parker will take a knee, and Pittsburgh's going to try to figure it out. Terry Bradshaw and the squad will come back on the field. And it's caught. That is Stallworth all the way, and he's going to get brought down inside of the 10. John Stallworth. Man, let's watch this again. Terry looking, knowing that they need something to go their way. Stallworth beats his man, and you see Stallworth take it all the way inside of the 10. And just like that, John Stallworth and Terry Bradshaw have the Steelers knocking on the door. First and goal from the 7. Handoff to Franco Harris, touchdown. Franco Harris gets in, and just like that, Pittsburgh fires back. And this is a 6-point game pending the extra point. Could be a 5-point game. Steelers looking to knock in this extra point. It's up, and it is good. 12-7. 2-play, 75-yard drive. Terry Bradshaw finds John Stallworth for the big touchdown, and we've got a 12-7 game. Pittsburgh fans, you got something to smile about. Here we go. Pittsburgh has done what they needed to kind of get the energy back in their favor. Still down by 5, but a nice way to get it going.
At their own 25-yard line.
And so Lane looks across. Oh, and two Lions run into each other. Incomplete pass. Ryan Shazier, who had a brief Pittsburgh Steelers career, but a very successful one, and was, had his career cut short due to injury. Looking, Lane, and he's got his man. Sanders with the catch. It was a great catch there by Sanders. Just a great job. And we're going to head to the fourth quarter. Lions up by 5. Score 12-7. Lions have their way in the passing yards and the rushing yards. They've pretty much controlled this contest. But Pittsburgh, that one-hitter quitter in the last possession, have put them in a good spot. Hand off to Sims up the middle. Big run, big first down, Billy Sims. Just a good run. Just a really nice run. And another run here. This one is Sanders.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Second and 1, and Lane with 3 receivers up top. They give it off to Sims, and the dangerous combination of the 20s of Billy Sims and Barry Sanders. No BS in that backfield. Well, technically a little bit BS in the backfield, but this BS is a good BS. 1st and 10 for Detroit, as they have gotten into Steelers territory, and now they have a chance to open this up. Lane looks across, dumps it to Johnson, and he will get a couple on that one. It's like 5. He's 7 receptions for 81 yards for Calvin Johnson.
At the 19-yard line.
There's a handoff to Barry, and a great job in the backfield. T.J. Watt is there. A former Defensive Player of the Year, making things happen. 3rd and 4 for Detroit. Pittsburgh needs this stop bad. Here it is, Lane looking across, and it's caught by Calvin Johnson. First down, Detroit. That may be what puts the icing on the cake here. Lane finds Calvin Johnson, who has just been eating him up. Beautifully done here. Two-minute warning. And Lane calling out some direction here. 2 minutes to go. They got to find a way to kill the clock. Oh, what a hit there by Harrison and Watt. So here's the thing. If you're Pittsburgh and you can hold Detroit to a field goal here, you still got a chance with 1:58 left. That's the critical part. Can they get the stops that they need? We'll find out. And a nice run by Barry. It's going to be 3rd and goal. Lambert getting the tackle. What do you do? What do you do if you're Pittsburgh? You've got one timeout left. You got to get a stop. You got to hope that Detroit doesn't score here, or we'll have our second number 1 seed upset. That to me is just almost insane. Lane across, touchdown Detroit. Calvin Johnson, Megatron. Oh, you can hear a pin drop in this stadium. The Detroit Lions. Boy, oh boy, this all-time team tournaments, man. Bobby Lane, look at this. Just finding Calvin Johnson. They've been connecting all day. And Megatron and Bobby Lane, they said, we're going to get a championship to Detroit somehow, some way. Hanson will kick the extra point, and it is good. 19-7, Detroit over Pittsburgh. Unbelievably done, y'all. It's been Detroit just handling things throughout this contest. They've done a really good job of doing what they needed to do. And now they're in position to finish the deal here. Up by 12 with 1:52 left. And Parker's going to take it out. And Detroit's waiting for him. The energy level has just been sucked out of the building. Boy, oh boy. When you say you didn't see it coming, you didn't see it coming. This is it. Bradshaw, and it's knocked away. It is just a somber mood here in Pittsburgh. the 49er fans hurt. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans hurt. This is happening again. This is the second time we've seen both of those 1 seeds get eliminated. Well, in that time frame, we saw San Francisco as a 2 seed, so the seeding is a little bit different. But if you base it off of where it is, it's the same dream. 3rd and 9. Big Lambeau with the tackle. Third and 9, no huddle here with 1:20 left, and Pittsburgh needs something, and they need it quick. Bradshaw's going to roll a little bit to his left, and he's got it, man, and a first down. Antonio Brown. So a nice pickup from Bradshaw to Brown. And another catch here. So no gain on that one.
At the 46-yard line.
No huddle. Less than a minute left. Look in, and it's caught. That's Lynn Swan with the catch. .30 seconds left, and Detroit is just 30 seconds away from booking a spot in the second round and seeing our second 8 seed. Oh, and it's overthrown there by Bradshaw. Detroit is feeling it. Bradshaw, maybe one last hurrah here. Looks across, intercepted by Detroit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the nail in the coffin. What a great game by Schmidt. And I know I'm destroying his name. Schmidt has got a D in there. We're going to say Schmidtif. But an interception by that amazing Detroit Lion linebacker who's had himself a great game. And now Detroit looking to be in victory formation here as they'll take a knee. The only game that really wasn't, so far that wasn't like in question. I mean, Pittsburgh had chances at the end, but Detroit pretty much, did what they needed to do. And now they are moving on to the next round. So Detroit will anxiously await the winner of the Buccaneers and Bears matchup once that one is played. But now the Detroit Lions will move on. They get the dub here in Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers have, for the second straight tournament, have been eliminated in the first round. Jacksonville last time, and this time Detroit comes in to Pittsburgh against a legendary defense and gets the win. 19-7. Bobby Lane with 158 yards. And to be honest with you, you have to go to the game that, yes, Bobby Lane had a great game, but you really have to go and look at what Calvin Johnson did. 9 receptions for 95 yards, a really good day for Calvin Johnson, and a win for the Detroit Lions. They move on. They will see either the Bucs or the Bears in the next round. I'm Darrell Owens, Legacy Maker Sports Network. This has been a first-round matchup in the all-time teams matchup here, and we're just glad to be able to bring it to you one more time. I'm Darrell Owens. We'll catch you later. What Calvin